Before the age of the lightsaber and establishment of the weapon that would be wielded by both the Jedi and Sith orders, there were other means of warfare by which both orders utilized. In the age of both the first Sith Lord as well as the first Jedi, enhanced swords were used that had been forged through the strength of the Force, both light and dark. The Jedi by imbuing their strength and light within them, and the Sith by using Sith alchemy and rituals to construct large blades that were almost a literal part of them. This practice was also one that many Dark Lords would adopt with their lightsabers, using Sith sorcery and techniques to empower their weapons of choice. It was at this point in the timeline where the Jedi unveiled a weapon that they believed would replace their Force-imbued swords. The Jedi called this new weapon lightsabers. The only issue was that they required a constant flow of energy in order to function properly, and therefore, the Jedi were forced to wear battery packs fastened to their belts into battle. These archaic lightsabers were barely portable. Their energy requirements necessitated a flexible cable that connected a lightsaber's handle to a battery pack worn on a Jedi's belt. The Sith at first despised the weapon, as they enjoyed the pain their enemies felt when being struck down so triumphantly with a sword. Powerful Sith Lords had also integrated artifacts and talismans into their Sith swords, as to further increase their power in the dark side and also give them an edge during combat. Quote, although lightsabers are a superior weapon, there is still nothing quite as satisfying as feeling the warm spray of blood when one cleaves through one's enemy with a real sword. Many Sith also felt a sort of deep connection with their swords, as they usually formed them using alchemy, a process that involved heavy dark side magic and required literal parts of a Dark Lord in order to function properly. Quote, but ask me the secrets of Sith alchemy, and I would ask for you 3 measures of blood, one from a person you love, one from a person you hate, and one from yourself. A Sith Lord is enhanced by submerging it in a trough of blood spilled in anger. Grinding its edge with molten rhyolite will ensure it never dulls. Because of the blade having some sort of a connection to the Force itself as well as the utilizer, the weapon was able to channel Force energies into it and use it as if it were a part of the wielder, as they learned how to channel the Force through the swords. Because of this power, many Sith Lords continued to use Sith swords into battle, even competing with the Jedi's lightsabers. Unfortunately though, the lightsabers would eventually gain an edge, as they were easier to use and could be produced much easier. The lightsabers were also extremely effective against the Sith specifically, as they were usually heavily armored, and the lightsabers' cutting power nearly completely nullified a Dark Lord's armor. Witnessing this, the Sith resolved to change their tactics, and actually managed to solve the battery problem that plagued many lightsabers. By introducing an inner power source, the lightsabers could function without the battery pack, and as a result, became much easier and safer to use. It was at this point that the Sith began using lightsabers of their own, and again leveled the playing field with the Jedi. But that is why the first Sith Lords disliked lightsabers and opted to stay with their more familiar swords, but also how the Jedi were able to exploit this for a time and caused the Sith to pay for their lack of vision. But what are your thoughts on this, and which one do you prefer, Sith swords or lightsabers?